With the newest update in Warframe being Tekrot Encore, we've been given Coda Liches, almost like Kuva Liches. With those Coda Liches, it's quite easy to acquire them. You go to your bounty board or just do it on the normal tile sets and do Exterminate Tekrot, Survival Tekrot. You can even get it from the Hell Scrub Tekrot mission. When you go in there, a random Tekrot enemy will drop a CD. You go to one of the terminals nearby, hack it, and then do that one more time. And when you come out of your mission, you'll see a little code assist on your neck, similar to as if you're trying to get a Predacite. Once you have done the whole thing with the Kuva Lich that you usually do, which is you like stab things, piss them off, etc. Just this one's slightly different. You'll eventually get live heart cells. When you get enough live heart cells, which is just 10, which you should get every time, you can then go to Eleanor Nightingale and get yourself a Coda varianted weapon. Not all of them are all that much better than the originals, but today we'll be covering the Coda Sporothrix because mine has a 54.2% progenitor. So the difference between the normal one and the Coda variant is that there's an increase in damage, reload speed, mag size, stash chance, and explosion radius on top of the progenitor. So I'm going to show off the build that I have made for it in the simulacrum. Go to a still path mission, test it there, test it on the acolyte, and then I'll tell you my final thoughts on all the Coda weapons. So I'll see y'all in the simulacrum. Alrighty, so with the Coda Sporothrix, we already went over what it has increased, but the total stats is a little bit more than the normal Sporothrix, mainly because of our electricity progenitor. I recommend electricity because it is quite nice, but if you want to go toxic or cold, we will obviously be using the augment the Sporothrix, that being volatile variant. Volatile variant gives the shots 3 more punch through, and the barbs will instantly explode instead of taking time to explode. When they explode, they have 4 meters more radius for their explosion and a increase in their stash chance. So I have 2 builds, Frostbite and Gasp, are just basic electricity progenitor. With Frostbite, you can either use double status mods or just one status mod. I've tried swapping on the dashes. It's quite nice. I actually do kind of prefer it, but at the same time, I would understand having to use Malignant Force and high voltage. We'll be using Prime Firestorm to increase the explosion range, Galvanized Chamber for more multi-shot, Galvanized Aptitude for status chance, and per status type affecting more direct damage, Semi-Rifle Cannonade for the additional damage and punch through, which sadly does not affect it. You can also, if you wanted to, put Rifle Elementalist on this build. I don't have it on here purely because I don't have the space for it, because I don't have enough mod slot spots, and I think this build works fine as is. I'm using Prime Cryo rounds for cold and to proc primary Frostbite, which to me, while we may not be getting the crit damage fully since the weapon has only a 5% crit chance, when it will crit, hits hard, and plus we can't be upset with a lot of extra multi-shot. Next, with our gas electricity build, this one actually does get Rifle Elementalist because we're using gas and electricity. We have volatile variant once again, and basically all the same mods that we previously had, except now we have gas, and we're using terminal velocity to increase the projectile speed. Let's go test it on the 195s, and then we'll go to a steel path mission. All right, so I just have a few 195 steel path enemies behind me, so we're using the Frostbite build. Whenever I go for just any shot in general, as you'll see, the surrounding area begins to freeze. That is why I prefer using Frostbite on my loadout, because with every enemy being, well, frozen, thanks to how the Sporothrix works with its explosions, I'm also getting that free crit damage increase, but the multi-shot I never have to worry about dropping because everything is, well, frozen. And it's hard for an enemy to kill you if they can't move. Now, things I wish I could do is add blast to it, but sadly I can't. But those were just Grenier. What about some Orkin? How does the Orkin compare to it? Well, it's about the same thing. Yeah, it's literally the same thing. They freeze, they get shot, they die. Now, obviously, aiming for that is a little harder to do. That's why we'll be using my Haro build. Why? Well, a weapon can't crit with such low crit. He fixes that with just his 4th ability, and if you wanted, you could use Arcane Avenger, but since we're using Sniper, we're going to be using my Infinite Invis build. So I'm going to take us to a Steel Path mission and see if this can function just like I want it to. So see y'all in that mission. Now, I don't want to take up too much of y'all's time, so I'll just cut to the chase. If y'all want to see more videos like this and do enjoy supporting me, make sure you guys hit that like button, do subscribe, and turn on that bell for post notifications. You always get notified whenever I post another video. I do love making these videos, and they are quite fun to make, especially whenever I love seeing all the comments people make and all the build changes y'all probably doing. But other than that, let's get back into the video, shall we? All right, well, here we are in a Steel Path mission, and we all know how my Haro build works. We have to, obviously, get shot a ton. Mainly because what we're trying to do is fix the issue of the Sporothrix not having a lot of crit. How do you fix that? Well, building around that, but not building specifically for it. So as you see, I get plus 10% on headshots, but 50% overall. Meaning now, if I can actually hit my shots, you'll see orange crits. Now we're going to take a... Oops. I keep forgetting I need to use my abilities. Now we're going to take full advantage of this by simply going invisible. When we're invisible, we'll get even more thanks to Arcane Crepuscular. And we're going to aim for headshots so we can extend our timers. And as you see, the whole issue of the, what is it? The Sporothrix not being able to hit really good crits is now completely been fixed. And we get to not have to worry about dying because of it. And, oh god, good crit. It still works how it should. Now, something I would recommend is trying it out with Kullervo's ability that lets you chain all of the enemies together, like with their damage, because then you could just hit one and explode all of them. Or try getting blast into your build in some form or fashion. I've seen a gas build. I personally don't like the idea of using a gas build because it doesn't seem to work all that well later down the line, but it does kill the tech rock quite easily. Now, as you see, we are having no issues here. These enemies die a little too fast, and to be honest with you, I've already tried this against the Scaldra. They die just as fast. So, let's try it up against an Acolyte, shall we? Since, well, these aren't really a challenge. They're just dying way too fast. I mean, look at that. Don't even have to hit headshot for them to all explode. So, I'll see y'all when an Acolyte appears, because these guys ain't a challenge. All right, we have a Acolyte about to spawn. Ooh, that was a nice crit. Mania. Ooh, I don't know if you turn off the abilities. I hope you don't. Let's try to get them a little closer. There we go. Ooh, holy! So as you see, that does really good headshot damage whenever you get a good shot combo, but even then, that did a lot against them, and this is a corrosive build, if anything. So as you see, it does quite well against, oh damn, that was an infested too. It killed him easily. It does quite well against a lot of enemies. I've been using this whenever I'm farming a temple in that, like, defense mission. It's actually quite nice there since so many of the enemies kind of, clump up in some areas, but not all the areas. I'm able to just kind of abuse volatile variant, so everything just kind of explodes. Ooh, that was nice. So, I will give y'all my final thoughts on the Coda Sporothrix once I get back to the back rooms. So, I will see y'all there, because as you see, everything's kind of... Nice crit. Everything's kind of just dying, and... Well, the weapon scales nicely. It's probably one of the best snipers in the game, if you ask me. So, ooh, a million. I'll see y'all then. If I had to give a rating for the Coda Sporothrix and overall how, well, the Coda weapons feel, this one is probably going to feel the best overall, because when I looked at what we currently can see, just based off pure stats, a lot of them are not that much better than their normal counterpart, and some of them aren't even worth using. For example, to me, the Coda Pox and the Pox, not worth using, but that's just me. I'll have to try them. But the Coda Sporothrix, I'd say this is the best sniper currently in the game. It wiggles at the end, but it's all based on if you like snipers. If you don't like snipers, this weapon probably will feel horrible to you, and that is fair. I didn't like snipers to start with, but this one is quite nice. So if you want to give any of them a try, I'd say the Coda Sporothrix, purely because it has a really good progenitor. It's a 54.2%. That's almost 60. If you guys want to see more videos like this and like my content, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on that bell for post notifications. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.